Here's your wrestling news for April 26, 2021. And if you like what you're watching, smash that like button and give us 1,000 likes or more. And your headlines for today include: Kenny Omega wins Impact World title at Rebellion. Impact Wrestling features released WWE superstars in Slammiversary promo. Big Cass makes Impact Wrestling debut as W. Morrissey at Rebellion. I'm so sorry, I apologize. WWE superstar feared Vince McMahon would fire him after a promo botch. The Miz explains why Benoit kicked him out of the WWE locker room. Mark Carrano's ex airs all his dirty laundry and mind games. WWE files trademarks for In-Dex. Adnan Virk says new commentators are bound to get more criticism, what went viral during a wrestling show, and more. We are starting today with news from AEW World Champion Kenny Omega, who has added another title to his collection. Appearing in Impact Wrestling's Rebellion pay-per-view, the Cleaner defeated Impact World Champion Rich Swann in the main event, becoming the first man to hold both the AEW and Impact World titles. The match had a big fight feel as Mauro Ranallo was brought in to commentate the match, and despite a valiant effort by Swann, Omega won clean with a V-trigger and a one-winged angel. The match was officiated by Impact Wrestling referee Brian Hebner and AEW referee Aubrey Edwards, though they were completely fair during the match as the Cleaner won clean as a whistle. Omega's win also means he won the TNA Championship, which was unified with the Impact World Championship earlier this year, and we'll have to see how this plays out on this Wednesday's Dynamite. With Rebellion out of the way, Impact's attention turns towards their annual Slammiversary pay-per-view, and a very interesting teaser aired during last night's show. In a promo video for Slammiversary, footage of several recently released WWE superstars were used, namely Samoa Joe, Mickie James, and Chelsea Green. It's no secret that all three once worked for Impact, and it seems Impact wants fans to believe they'll be returning to the company. Impact Wrestling teased a lot of names this time last year after WWE's April 15th releases, and time will tell whether any of the names teased from this year's cuts make it to Impact after their 90-day non-compete clauses expire. One former WWE name fans can expect at Slammiversary 2021 is Big Cass, who made his Impact debut at last night's Rebellion. With Eric Young injured, Cass filled his spot in the show's 8-man tag match, but wasn't called Cass or Kaz XL, but instead referred to as W. Morrissey. With his shredded physique, Morrissey has been impressing a lot of people since he returned to wrestling after a year away, and though it's unknown what kind of deal he has with Impact Wrestling, he certainly made a great impression on his first night. Over to WWE, and The Miz has done it all in the company, from being the runner-up in Tough Enough to headlining WrestleMania 27. In 2006, one of The Miz's earliest roles was as the host of the WWE Diva Search, and fans will never forget one unfortunate segment when the A-lister forgot the phone number fans needed to call. Speaking on his WWE 24 episode, Miz revealed that he discussed the huge botch with Vince McMahon backstage, believing this would be the end of his WWE career. He said, "I remember going backstage thinking, I'm going to get fired. And I walked back, I went over to Vince, I go, I'm so sorry, I apologize, this will never happen again. I will make sure it will not happen again." He goes, "I know it won't happen again. I know you'll do better next time." Clearly, The Miz improved as he's still with the company and has gone on to become one of the best talkers in recent history. In that same episode, The Miz credited his wife Maurice, who ironically debuted in the Diva Search, for helping him get his career back on track when she returned in 2016, though it's entirely possible the pair would have never met had the A-lister been released following his awkward phone number botch. Though he may be one of WWE's most self-confident stars ever, fans will know that The Miz didn't have such a high self-esteem in his early years with the company, especially after an incident with Benoit. The story goes that when The Miz was eating some chicken in the locker room, Benoit accused him of getting crumbs on his bag, and the former World Heavyweight Champion kicked the rookie Miz out of the locker room for a total 7 months. Discussing the incident, though avoiding mentioning Benoit by name, Miz said how he's apologized for his behavior, even though he didn't see any crumbs on Benoit's bag. He added, "I say I did not mean to do it. I'm just trying to do the right thing here." And he goes, "You are not allowed to dress in our locker room. I think you should just stay out of the locker room." It would take Miz 7 months and an impressive performance against The Undertaker before he was allowed to dress in the locker room again, as opposed to changing in public bathrooms, and whilst they didn't reference Benoit by name, it's always rare for the company to even allude to the former world champion. Last week, Mark Carrano was fired from WWE after he was blamed for the items of former superstars being sent in trash bags, and there's been a lot said about the former talent relations head. Deborah Simmons, who claims to be Carrano's ex, has previously said that he tried to kill her cat and stole title belts from WWE, and now she's made even more claims against him. In a series of now-deleted tweets, Simmons claims that Carrano would insist on calling her his fiancé, despite them not being engaged, and added that Carrano allegedly yelled at her because she didn't answer her phone whilst she was attending a funeral. Nick Dinsmore, who fans will know as Eugene, also commented on Carrano and hinted that the former WWE employee is hiding assault allegations, saying his behavior with others in the company is the tip of the iceberg of creepiness. As someone who worked in OVW as a trainer, Dinsmore will have seen plenty of Carrano, and this is a huge accusation for him to make. At this time, Carrano hasn't responded to any claims made against him, and we'll keep you updated as this ongoing story unfolds. Carrano's departure from WWE came after Mickie James shared that her belongings were sent to her in a trash bag following her release on April 15th. Though she didn't win any titles in her second run, James did make WWE reevaluate how they treat superstars after they've been released, and one person sorry to see her go is Xavier Woods. On Twitter, the New Day star shared a video of himself showing off his skills on the bass, jamming out to Mickie's WWE theme, which got quite the reaction from the former women's champion. Mickie was clearly very much loved by her peers in WWE, and whilst she'll now be looking for new challenges outside the promotion, the wrestling veteran hasn't been forgotten one bit. Now this year, Alberto Del Rio will face trial for kidnapping and assault, and if convicted and given the maximum sentence, could spend the rest of his life in jail. With his days as a free man potentially numbered, the former WWE champion is making his time count in the ring alongside some AEW talent. On Twitter, SoCal Uncensored called out wrestlers who worked a show with Del Rio, which sparked a response from Joey Ryan. In his response, Ryan, who admitted to wrongdoing not too long ago, questioned Tony Khan for using wrestlers willing to work an event with someone awaiting trial for kidnapping and assault, but refusing to use him, who was never arrested. SoCal Uncensored went on to explain that Del Rio faced Daga at the private event, but that Brian Cage and Pentagon also worked the show. For a private event that wasn't even advertised, it's gathered a lot of attention for all the wrong reasons, and we'll have to see if Tony Khan makes any rules keeping his talent away from the always controversial former WWE World Champion. Over to NXT next, and the fans of the budding romance between Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis can expect to see a lot more of the two. That's if recent trademark filings are to be believed, as according to Heel by Nature, WWE filed a claim for the term In-Dex on April 21st. The filing covers the standard clauses ensuring the name can only be used by WWE and can be used on merchandise. The name, a portmanteau of Indy and Dexter's names, has been used by Beth Phoenix and NXT's Twitter account lately, and it's clear that WWE has long-term plans for this unlikely combination. Back to the main roster, and recently Adnan Virk made his debut as a commentator, though he hasn't exactly been a roaring success. At times, it's felt like the other commentators have had to carry Virk, who sometimes forgets the names of moves, and now Virk has broken his silence over the backlash from fans to his commentary skills. Speaking to Jimmy Traina on a recent edition of the Sports Illustrated Media podcast, Virk explained how fans are negative to him because they see him as an interloper who's joined from network television. But he has long-term plans in WWE, as he explained. I think ultimately there will be fans who say, I can't stand him, but I've been listening to him for so long I have no choice. We're not sure if this is the best strategy from Virk, as he didn't acknowledge the problems with his own commentary. And we'd much rather have good commentary than someone who's been bad for so long that fans don't care anymore. Given that it's reported that Virk only got an audition thanks to his friendship to WWE President Nick Khan, it's easy to see why fans are rejecting him, and time will tell whether Virk improves and whether fans warm up to him. Do you think Virk will improve and that fans will eventually accept him? Let us know in the comments. And we're ending today with some romance, as independent wrestler Lanie Luck has been proposed to in an interesting way. Sharing the video on social media, Luck was in the ring training with her boyfriend and fellow indie wrestler GPA when GPA proposed to her right there. This engagement quickly went viral with several names from wrestling, including Mustafa Ali, Naomi, AEW's Big Swole, and Maria Kanellis Bennett, offering their congratulations. Mick Foley himself called it quite possibly the best marriage proposal ever, and we'd like to extend our own congratulations to the happy couple at this time. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.